All right, now you're good.
All right. So, welcome back. Session on a streak. Last thing you saw before we ended for the night was you were chasing two trolls who were trying to eat your horses, and Creek got a nice taste of boulder thrown from a fire giant wielding a large rod and a greatsword. Last thing she said was, "Damn, missed the troll." But Creek wouldn't understand that.
Yes, but I'm assuming Shao on his turn could like call out because I'm guessing they're not quiet, even if they're like muttering it under their breath. They're giants.
They're like 120 feet away. The giant
That's
has
true. Oh well, but I believe we should start with top of the list, right?
Yes, we're right at the top of the list.
Right. I remember what I was going to do. I'll move.
Why is Creek underneath the giant who has a...
I don't see
He's
that.
not. He's below the troll.
I see myself
Giant's
right
up here.
No, in the turn order.
Oh,
For a second, he had an 8 and was underneath the giant.
Oh,
it might have just been,
It's alright, we figured it out.
Yeah,
yes, but Marathi, I don't believe you're invisible anymore.
He had acted offensively, yes.
Yes, I did. I attacked one of the trolls with, what's it called? Guiding bolt.
That's right.
And so I'm going to move. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And to make sure I can catch up to Creek, I'll use my standard to move another 30. I can do that, right?
Yes, you can dash.
In a bit. Yeah, okay.
Yep. But that takes up your action, not a standard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Tomato,
Standards
tomato.
are not
And let me just check the range on stuff like Bardic Performance, which isn't the thing I meant to say. Okay. Where the heck did I put Bardic Inspiration? Ah, there it is. Okay, 60 feet. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll give Creek a die of Bardic Inspiration. Because he is within 60 feet. He is 45 feet.
Mateus?
Step up to the window.
Step up to the wall.
No. Can I shoot Creek?
In these halls.
At disadvantage.
Why would I be at disadvantage? Or do you mean? Oh, I mean I'm shooting a spell, but
yeah, of course.
I am actually
I thought
using
you were just being a doofus.
I'm actually using a Chaos Bolt on the troll, which is 120 feet, so I am with 5 feet away from being out of range, but okay, we don't have wild magic occurring. So let me roll to hit.
Good start. We like that.
Oh, that's so close to a crit. If I crit, do I get to roll 4d8, and then if any of the two match, it...
I'm not quite sure about that rule.
Well, we'll have to worry about it later, but...
Yeah.
So I'm assuming a 26 hits the troll.
It does.
Okay, and I do 1, 5, and 2. 1 is acid, I recall that, so that's 8 acid damage. And unfortunately, it does not bounce with the chaos.
What, on a Creek?
I can bounce it to the giant. It's anything within range of the spell. If I wanted to attack the giant. I think at this point we want to kind of wait and see. But that is my move. Well, actually, I'm going to step away from the window just in case he suicide hurls a boulder at me.
How much damage did it do?
8.
That kills it.
Oh, perfect. All me.
What do you say, 12?
Quiet, artists.
Shall.
That is my deep, dark secret.
That you are artists?
Good job, Mateus. Now, if you excuse me, I'm just going to be outside of this building.
All right, fine. I'm going to step back into the bed.
Okay. And how much movement would it be to get to the outside?
I think he said 1 turn.
It takes 1 turn to get outside the door.
Would it be
Okay.
faster since he has haste and the doors are open?
If you're hasted, you can use your extra movement to move your haste.
Okay.
And that's going to be my turn because I can't really get into range of this thing, and I don't really feel like fighting it.
You're not gonna use your haste action to run 60 feet forward?
No, I don't think I'm going to do that.
Right.
All right, Creek.
So what's the terrain surrounding? Like, is this flatland? Are we in a town?
It's hilly. You're kind of on the outskirts of the town. The inn is at the outskirts.
Was it actually a
Outskirts of
town? I
town,
thought it
alright.
was just an inn. I guess you said
So-
things had sprouted up around it.
Yeah,
Seeing
there's
as
like a.
how our troll friend is dead, and there's not much I can really do to, like, make it die anymore, so to speak. I am going to book it. I am going to move. Let's see. I move 30 feet normally, 60 feet hasted, double moving. I'm going to just book it 120 feet in
You
a
can go
random
180
direction.
feet, you know? Because movement action, haste action.
Right. I actually
Also,
forgot
it's
about
double
the
your
movement,
speed. Don't
moving
you have
haste
40?
action. I move. Let me get my. God. I keep forgetting to pop the sheet out, and it causes me problems. I have a 40-foot movement speed.
So you have
I move
80 per, so
I
240
move
feet.
160, double. That's 160 with a double move, and then and then another 80. So 240 feet. I run.
And he ran.
All right.
Could he get away, Will?
Should I just leave myself there, or
Don't worry about it.
okay?
Because the
clearly-
giant is going to notice that the troll that it was berating is dead, and it will immediately run over to the troll, pick it up, tuck it underneath its arm, take a bite out of it, and start sauntering back with the troll in tow,
Good troll.
muttering something under her breath.
Okay, then. I'm okay with just... I'm just gonna just...
Yep.
This is my bed now. No one else may have it.
All right. Are we still in initiatives?
I'm assuming not, because it's just eating
Unless
the
you
troll
decide to
and-
chase the giant.
No,
Let's
we're
not.
good.
Can I make a perception to see what that giant said under its breath?
From
Nope,
120
you
feet
didn't run
away.
up, so you were too far away to hear it.
Also,
Okay.
by the way, does anyone have I'm gonna use the full move, the full amount of haste while I still have it to sprint back to the inn.
Oh, great. Now he's overstimulated. Does anyone have any juice so he can calm Creek down so we can sleep? 'Cause I'm not sharing a room with him if he's going to be that hyper.
Well,
Well,
go back-
also,
you'll go back to the inn. Oh, hold on.
Oh, yes.
Before
Is
that
there any
happens.
damage to the inn because trolls were climbing it? And
There was a
rocks
whole
hit
Some
rock
the
minor
wall?
thrown in the
damage to
window.
the window, but that's not beyond their ken to fix it. Okay, so that's worth that over 4. 900 XP each for that encounter.
Yowza.
Okay.
So by the way,
15.
just to make things cool, or cool, not in the nice way, but
1,
go.
5,
I
8,
run
7,
in.
8.
I find the nearest bed, and the haste wears off, so I lethargically fall asleep.
Haste wore off the second I stepped into the bed
Oh.
Yeah.
because it's
So
concentration.
somewhere in the field.
Oh, so you also were lethargic for a turn out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Do the wolves descend?
No. But
All right.
you before you go to bed, you relay the information to what is now a panicked inn full of people.
Oh
the-
yes, of course.
They've summoned the lady herself. Her name is Tamalan Zor.
Well, Mrs.
And
Zor,
she,
I'm sorry to say, but you have fire giants.
She said, "Well, we kind of knew that to begin with, but that they were in the area. We thought we'd be small enough to pass by unnoticed. But it seems like all they were doing is searching for food. If what your description of what happened makes any sense,
I'm not
As a
entirely
pa-
sure. I just saw trolls and threw a fireball.
as some recompense, please take this." And she hands out a piece of paper with a seal.
Excellent.
She says, "This is a letter of recommendation from myself. If you're ever in Everland, you can win a powerful friend if you show it to the half-orc innkeeper at Denivar's house."
Also, I get it. If you're ever in...
It's not my inn. I only own the town, not the inn.
I thought it was the wait.
But I'm assuming it's
Oh,
full
whatever.
rest city.
Well,
Yes,
I
you can
mean,
full rest.
also this room is quite lovely now with the extra wide breeze window. You may want to
Might
get
be able
that
to make
fixed.
bay windows now.
There are 3 separate stonemasons going mending.
No, I can't sleep with this. I take the bed and put it into the closet.
Very
A
well.
very strangely spacious closet.
You awake to find one of the masons trying to steal the bucket.
Take it. That bucket's nothing but trouble. Leave the broom though.
Mending. Anyway, yes. You now have a letter of recommendation. Do you need me to
Awesome.
repeat any of that for Berlin?
Did someone write down who we were? It was a half orc. I kind of missed the name, but it was at the inn, so it'd be
There's
easy
no
enough.
name. There's
Oh,
just
okay.
the half-orc innkeeper at Danavar's house.
Denivar. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think we should be good. And that was in which town?
Everland.
Everland. Okay. All right. Unless there's anything else
Back
we can do
to
here.
the map. Nope.
Oh, by the way, 15,878.75 out of 23,000. Okay, Olston's Hold, and then Everland.
No Noanar's hold.
Right. We were gonna start
Party
there, then
will
make
go
a
to
way.
Noanar's hold.
Sorry,
Nothing
you said
happens in the term.
15,878 or 15,778?
15,878.
There we are. Okay. Could someone give me a history check about Noanar's hold?
Definitely 9.
I got a 0 in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's an 8.
Let's see.
Haven't seen it yet.
Don't worry.
Do you get advantage or?
Oh no, that was just.
Oh, okay. Stand back, everyone. I will knowledge at you. It's clearly some type of hold, and I believe Noanar lived
Oh, I see.
or has lived there at some point.
Mm-hmm. It's a village on the edge of the high forest, but I don't think you need a history. Just a map. Do you remember it was a famous hunting lodge? It hosted wild hunts that attracted the wealthiest nobles and merchants. Mateus,
wasn't
some
I
of your
heading
family
there?
may have been here.
Yeah, I think I might have been heading here, or from here to Nightstone to hunt in the Ardeep Forest.
You are definitely not from Noanar's hold, because
Some
the
hold.
place is rather like ghost towny. There's not a lot of people
fucking
here.
Wonderful. Is that its
I will
natural
remind
state,
you.
or
I'm sorry.
is that the natural state, or does it just seem emptier than usual?
No, it just seems naturally sparse. There's really not a lot going on here besides the infrequent traveler. As you can see, it's kind of just off the main road, but Calling Horns and Oliston's Hold are just kind of there. So not a lot of people stop by Noanar's Hold anymore. But you have a purpose because you have the Bardings.
Yes.
And-
Excellent. So we will hunt down the person we are looking for and
Aptly
heroically
named.
hand the barding.
Let me
Now, Creek, remember, we do not hurt the quest acceptor.
Yeah, right.
takes you there. Let me
That's
go grab your
never a good
sheets.
sign.
Stand by while I grab
Okay,
your
never mind.
characters.
They've got a
Please
little
hold.
Stonehenge of their own.
I don't see. Oh no, that's all of you.
Are we coming out on the Evermore way, or
Yes.
also, if I'm seeing these squares right, we're gonna be tiny.
It's a big area, but it's
Well, smaller than most towns in that squares are actually 5 feet.
Yep. I've
Oh, yeah,
learned
we
my
are
lesson.
tiny.
Yes, you are. Let me make sure you.
Oh, we'll ride in on. Well, technically, I was gonna say 4 horses, then I realized probably a single caravan.
Well, you
Except
got
for
2
Creek.
horses pulling the cart.
Can we at least put a cover on this cart so we can call it a caravan? I feel like riding in here makes me feel like hay.
And we all know hay is for horses.
What are you doing in the
Okay.
cart? You're supposed to be outside running.
We're all just sort of bantering, and then all of a sudden you just look over, and Creek just kind of throws a
Jesus,
line in.
Creek, how long have you been there? Been there this whole time?
I've been here the
Amazing.
whole time.
But yes, to the north, you'll see what's known as the Hunt Lord Keep. So named because no one or hold has used to be famous for its hunting lords that would go in and out and hunt things. There seems to be some life in the village below, and a large building which you can only assume is the famous White Hart Inn up to the northeast.
Well, I think... Okay, refresh my memory as it has been several months. Who are we delivering these to?
You're delivering these bardings to the Hunt Lords.
Hunt Lord. Okay. Well, in the meantime, we'll just kind of drive the cart into town and see who comes out to gawk at us.
And so you shall.
So I'm gonna be up the road unless something happens on the way. Any filthy urchins stop us?
Oh, there's some curious eyes poking out from the doors, and some people
Hopefully not
looking
from this
around.
one, because it seems very destroyed.
That one, no, not so much. But the one here, that one's got windows. They seem to be actively, they seem to be actively like not trying to engage you. They're all kind of staring at you, but as soon as you meet their gaze, they go back to sweeping the porches and cutting the grass.
Maybe we should make this a test of endurance. How long do you think they'll keep cleaning under our withering gaze as we just stare at them?
That sounds a little mean.
You can try. Give me a
Yeah.
con check.
I mean, I'm going to be blinking.
Yeah, we'll see how long this takes. Give me a con check.
But no, I'll just continue on
Let's see
into
who gets
town.
hungry first.
Joke's on them. I have wild magic. I'll just keep casting until I summon a flump and eat it.
Yeah.
Or a unicorn. I'm sure those are very, very tasty. But in all seriousness, we can either head straight to the Hunt Lords, assuming they're in the keep, or head to the tavern first, as I'm assuming it took most of the day to get here since we left. And it seemed
You
to
got
be
there
like
at about
40 miles.
midday.
Okay, midday.
The travel was pretty easy on the road.
I mean, it's always good to stop at the tavern to find out what the rumors are. Maybe these Hunt Lords are evil, terrible people who are going to skin us.
Mm.
Forewarned
always
is
a possibility.
forearmed.
Well, you'll have to get to the inn first.
I'll call out to one of the
Let's
people
go over
cleaning.
to the inn.
My
Do I
good
have to
man,
track
can
where
you
the inn is?
point
The
us
inn's
to
up
the
here.
inn?
The
They'll
inn is up
silently
this way.
point you that way.
I will thank him and toss him a gold.
He leaves it on the ground.
Well, that's fine. I'll just stare at him and say, I'll just leave that gold there, and when I turn around, I won't be looking. When I turn back, I hope it will be gone, and walk off.
As soon as he turns his back, I take the gold.
Roll me. What's the sleight of hand one? Deception.
I'll take disadvantage on the perception.
You'll just
2!
you
I
start
I
you start coughing really loud as you bend over to pick up the coin, going, "My shoes feel really." That's weird.
You picked up my Jinx
Wait, there's a
coin.
sleight of hand.
There is. Oh, there is. I'm sorry.
I mean, I still would have gotten a 5.
You still would have
instead.
failed, but
Or, sorry,
Yeah.
6.
that's better. As I pretend to think the peasant took
As you
it.
pretend not to notice.
Anyway,
We're all idiots.
as you make your way to the inn, you see the first person who actually looks like he.
He actually what? You cut out.
Oh, actually looks like he's happy to see you. Represented by this woman, because this is the commoner token.
I
He's standing
see.
right outside the doors of the inn, sitting on an old rocking chair, and goes, "Whoa, travelers! What a rare sight these days. Welcome to the White Hart. My name is
Yes.
Avgar. Avgar
I
Filroy.
forgot my name.
Sorry, it's been a while since I had introduced myself.
No worries. I completely
okay.
understand, Avgar. So I take it people here are very wary and weary of travelers.
Well, when you live in a remote destination like this, perhaps the point was to be alone. This is a quiet
Understandable.
town. Its residents peaceful.
Don't like
I'm
that.
going
Another
to
rest of the
immediate-
Priscilla speech.
I'm going to immediately start looking over my shoulder for wheel skeletons.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Pray, what brings you to the legendary land of the Hunt?
well, speaking how fortuitous you mentioned Hunt Lords, we were tasked to deliver bardings from Tribor to the Hunt Lords. Can you tell us stories of
well.
the current Hunt Lords? Are they...
Yes, please. Come in, and he'll motion into the inn.
He's too trustworthy. What's his angle?
He's an innkeeper. I imagine he'd like you to stay the night.
Do I detect anything?
Do we have to start a tab, or do we have to pay up front?
I'm pretty sure we're okay to pay up front. Although, to be fair, this isn't like Pathfinder. I think it actually, like, peasants deal in gold.
Kuba, you think that this innkeeper is a little too excited to see people. As you enter the inn, something is kind of off about the place. Roll me a perception.
Certainly. Oh dear.
Just him or everyone?
Everybody.
13.
You notice the inn is very clean.
19.
It's almost too clean. There's like no dust, no signs of wear or tear.
I'm
All the
going
paintings
to,
are
I'm going to walk
impeccably
up to
matched.
him, like, behind him and say, oh, it's a marvelous tavern, then pretend to trip and, like, try and catch myself on them.
Quick question: is this where the
Okay.
Zentarim, like, is this town has Zentarim as well as everyone else?
No, it's too small.
Oh, okay.
Or at least you don't know.
Does my hand pass right through them?
No, in fact, they'll catch you and they'll say, "Oh,
Thank
sorry
you. I'm
about
sorry
that."
for that.
no. Yes, it is very clean. I actually maintain quite the little force of helpers. And as you look a little closer, you'll see that there are mops and brushes and brooms all kind of moving by themselves.
Whatever you do, don't chop them with axes.
So you'll have to forgive me. Some people are a little afraid of the unseen hands, but I merely assure you, it's
Oh.
just a magical cantrip I use to keep the place
No
clean.
worries, I
was gonna
I'm a
guess,
master of the arcane arts and quite well studied myself.
I was gonna guess invisible helpers, as in like you use the spell invisible.
No, he just cast invisibility at 9th level on children.
But he'll sit you down at a table and he'll start pouring ale for all of you. The first one is on the house. Gives you a mug.
I wait for Creek to sample it.
I'm already halfway done.
I take a swig.
It's crisp and cold and tastes a little bit like apples, but it's a nice ale.
Wonderful.
on.
Wait a minute.
what
Apples
is
don't
it,
grow in this climate.
Oh no!
It's
you look
not
around,
apple
all-
season.
Wait a minute. Were you an apple baron as a noble?
I'm but a humble innkeeper.
No, I'm not
Ability
saying
He's
is
it.
talking
I
to
could-
me.
Oh,
Are you an apple baron?
Will, what's the
No.
role to do an ale tasting?
I am not.
that is medicine or con.
There's no way I can disprove
Why
that.
not
So
both?
I see this was
roll me
made
con,
with
actually.
Granny Smiths in the Xeraphixian forests.
It tastes delicious.
Are we
Yes.
rolling a constitution?
I'm gonna
He
need
wants to
5
know
of
if
these.
he's getting sick by the ale.
Oh
No,
no!
he wants to
No, I'm sorry.
identify.
I don't know how quite to describe it.
Medicine,
like,
probably.
What's the what would be the skill to use if you want to identify the taste of the particular ale?
Perception, probably.
I could say. I
like
could say
a wine
The tannins.
Insight, maybe.
you can make
Are we
arguments for
having
all
a
of them.
flute or
But at any
I'm
rate,
trying-
the ale tastes like ale.
I'm
Slightly
sorry for
appley.
starting this.
I want
Damn
5
it.
more, please.
As well, we'll get to that, but first I must give you a word of warning about the Hunt Lords.
Are they gonna
They're
wear
retired.
our skin? Oh, okay.
No, they're just very old. They
That's-
they tend
much more mundane.
they tend to be early risers. I imagine they've retired to their chambers, even though the sun is at its zenith. I would recommend staying the night here. before going out and meeting the Castellan.
What kind of
Sounds
old
like a
person
wonderful
stays
idea.
up only until noon?
I kind of,
Then
I
again,
think
one person
about
brings
this, pull out a piece of a parchment and a quill, and write something down, fold it up, and hand it to Moradi.
Okay,
Okay.
Are you, I'd say do not open that until after we are done here.
all right. And I
Please
pocket
tell me
the
it's
note.
explosive runes.
You know what? I'm gonna follow suit and write something down as well.
You got
What are you gonna do with it?
y'all are unoriginal.
I'm gonna give it to Maradi.
Oh,
You can open it whenever.
okay. And I'll put that with the other note.
No, you can open it whenever.
Innkeeper's eyeing
Actually,
you,
open it
guy.
now.
Are you making fun of the fact that I'm not literate?
No, I'm
Wait,
just
how are
asking
you?
if.
Wait a minute. You have to be literate to cast spells. Are you a sorcerer?
I didn't say these were my helpers.
Damn, you
Lords
got
are
me
very-
there.
I
Lords are very
apologize
generous
for
with
my
their service.
compatriots' rudeness towards you, sir. You have been
I
nothing
have
but
to say, you have
hospitable to
excellent
us.
ale, if nothing else.
So,
The innkeeper's gonna eye you and go, everything about it disgusts me.
can
You better
I?
not have noodle arms.
Oh, Creek.
Hey,
As,
hey, that's rude.
As this
Do
is
I make
happening,
fun of
I'm
you
go-
for being illiterate?
as this is happening, I'm gonna whisper to Creep. Is it wrong if I pull out a book and ask him if to read?
No,
Creek or
there's
the
no
innkeeper?
need to be
Something with
rude.
my arm.
And
What
I
is your
must say,
alignment?
all are
'Cause you're-
beautiful in the
you
eyes
guys
of the
are-
Lady of...
You guys are slowly drifting to eat.
Please do not be rude to our
No,
hospitable hosts.
I'm.
And might I also say to our hospitable host that all are beautiful in the eyes of Lady in Love. So don't you worry your head, Creek. You're perfect just the way you are.
Roll an ass kissing check,
Innkeepers-
Maradi.
Yeah, the
I
innkeeper's
was
just gonna
just
say
being
no one likes an
nice.
ass kisser.
I'm
Sit down
not.
and drink
I'm
your
being
ale.
nice. You two have been nothing but rude to this nice man. And I must correct this nice man on his harsh words towards our barbarian friend here.
May I just have a room, sir? My companions are quite tiring sometimes.
The room will be 1 gold.
Excellent. I will hand him 2. Well,
Okay.
actually,
2
1 gold
rooms.
per, or...
No, 1 gold for all of you.
Ah,
Yeah.
well, 2 gold it is. I want 1 by
Okay.
myself.
Very well.
Come, Maradi.
Wait, I thought you said you wanted
You-
one for yourself.
not
Oh,
a person,
forget it.
he's
And I'll
luggage.
go.
Well, Sam, before you settle in for the night, I just have one piece of advice to give. Under no circumstances should you go outside at night. The
for
spirits
fuck's
of dead
sake.
hunters tend to aggregate around the edge of the forest.
Maradi, you
I'll
can
do it.
open
Be
that
safe
note
within
now.
the town.
Sounds right for a place with such history.
You can open that note now, Maradi. It just says we're
Alright.
gonna be attacked by undead of ghosts of the town that is actually a ruin.
Oh,
Open up mine as well.
I open
It
up
says
his
I gotta
note.
I thought it was just gonna be a picture of a butt.
drink that. Nah.
Is it a picture of a butt?
No, it's. Are you going to drink that?
Yes, I already did.
Damn.
Well, no, clearly he doesn't care about that. But anyways, let's get
Well,
this
you'll-
farce over with and go to sleep.
You'll spend the night. Nothing significant happens, but you do hear some rustling, neighing of horses, and other
God.
noises that are associated with riders in the dark.
Oh god, our horses are getting eaten by trolls again.
But you'll wake in the morning, and the innkeeper is once again polishing glasses and setting up a table. Says, "I took the initiative and cooked some breakfast if you're interested.
Oh, that would be
Excellent.
wonderful.
Included in your bill.
Best
Lay
night I ever
down.
slept.
He'll lay down some freshly baked bread, some nice artisanal cheese, and some sausages he said that were fresh from the hunt.
Wonderful.
What hunt?
The hunt lords may be retired, but they still do enjoy the sport every once in a while. These came in the morning before they retired for the day.
They're already retired?
You can't just say retired. They might have been
He'll-
born with a lack
He'll
of
narrow
oxygen.
his eyes and see, he'll narrow his eyes and say, "I may be illiterate, but I know retired is not what you think it may mean."
No, I mean, if they've already retired at 6 in the morning, when the hell do we have to have time to talk to them?
No, the sausages were yesterday.
Oh.
They gave them the meat yesterday before they retired for the day.
So you got the meat, eh?
The ground meat. At any rate, he says, before you get your hopes up, if you ever wanted to see a hunt lord, you may know that they do keep a rather curmudgeony dwarf as their castellan. You'll probably be dealing with him.
That's
Name is-
absolutely fine.
His name is Amrath, and you should address him that you have some things for the lords.
What's a Costello?
Costello.
It performs comedy with an abbot and runs from Wolfman.
Oh, so it's a priestly thing.
Sure, let's go with that. You want a good Costello? Look at Maradi.
Okay, then he'll bid
Probably
you
the
a good
nicest
day.
thing you've said this entire campaign.
Anyways, thank you for the excellent service. We shall go up to the manor post haste.
Krieg eagerly nods.
Well, as you drive the cart with the horses through the town, on your way up to the Hunt Lord's manor, you'll find a small crowd has started to gather behind you as curious villagers start looking. These strangers approaching one of the most imposing places in the town itself. They don't really interact with you again, but they are very curious to see what will happen.
It's the horns, isn't it?
Oh, right, two of you are tieflings, aren't you?
That's
Two
right.
tieflings,
Yeah.
a bugbear, and me. I think I need to keep them on leashes.
Mhm.
But anyways,
No,
I will
we're
pointedly
seeing
ignore
high
their
tieflings.
stares, and we shall run the cart back and forth up this stupid hill.
I'll save you some trouble. You can get all the way up to the door.
Excellent.
As you approach the keep, you notice that it is in some states of disrepair. Seems like it's not a lot of people living there either. There's not a lot of commotion coming from it. But here at the gatehouse, you see a pair of heavy wooden oak doors with a small latch, so where somebody can open up a slide and talk to people.
Well, one of you knock.
Knock, knock, open up the door.
It's real.
Too easy of a joke.
A gruff male dwarf accent voice will yell, "Who disturbs the keep of the Hunt Lords of Noah?"
Is this the guy the priest?
Probably the dwarf.
No.
He's not a priest, he's a castellan.
Yes.
But he works with an abbot. Anyway, why are we here again?
We are here to deliver barding from the town of Tribord to the lords.
After a couple of seconds of silence, the latch will open, and a pair of old, steely gray eyes peek out. They notice your horses in the cart. He closes the latch, and a moment later, one of the large oaken doors starts to swing out. He says, "Well, don't just stand out there. Bring him inside."
Excellent.
All
And
right.
we shall start moving the... Well, would it make more sense
Unpacking.
for the cart to move in, or for us to unpack the bardings?
He's motioning for the cart to come in.
Okay, we will drive the cart in then.
You'll drag him all the way to this foyer. And as he's telling, because he's talking to Kuba Mateus first, and he says, "Listen, just drop the bardings on the ground. You've already been paid in advance. We both know this. No haggling. Get out." But before he can finish the sentence, he looks at Creek, and his
Oh, dear.
jaw kind of drops.
Is he the next hunt target? Creek,
says-
you may want to run.
He approaches you,
It's the
Mateus,
noodle arms.
and he says, "What manner of creature is that?"
I don't rightly know. He's
That's not a
under
good
my
sign.
employ, though.
"Ah, well, what would you give to release him
There we
from
go.
your employ?"
I'm afraid he is not available for hunt.
You, sir.
He might be available for
That's
parties.
exactly
Hey,
what we
Creek,
were
how good
asking
are you
for.
juggling?
I
At
know these
any
things.
rate, I must insist you speak to the lords directly. Perhaps they have something of value that they could trade. And he'll snap his fingers and the
Excellent.
oak door shuts. He says, "Please, I insist."
Hey,
Karate.
Creek, how good are you
I
at
think we're about to
performing
get
tricks of
hunted.
wonder?
Let me see if there's a.
Can I
No.
just like nonchalantly perceive this person or this dwarf? Like,
Sure.
I
see
kinda
Roll
how-
wanna-
perception.
I
if
kind
there's
of want to get
something
an
wrong with him.
insight. Like, are we getting like? Is he trying to set us up, type thing, or?
Roll per-
Clearly, we just need to give his lords a direct answer.
the. You can see for sure the dwarf very Creek.
Try the one again.
Couldn't
'cause we-
He couldn't
Yeah,
care
you
less
were-
about you or the tieflings,
But
but he's
he's very
there's a
interested
vitality
in
to
Creek.
him. Also, this dwarf looks like he's much older than usual. Like
He's a ghost.
he's got a long gray beard. He's a little gaunt, but he's
I wouldn't give for a paladin companion at this moment. But anyways, we
But I
shall
thought this
speak
guy was
to
a
the.
cleric.
No, he's an abbot. Let's go.
How much of that? How much of this exchange have I heard? Was he out loud and open about like trying to buy me off?
no, he was
You mean mount
pretty
your
much
head?
very like he wasn't whispering or anything. He was
Oh, okay.
generally asking how much it would take to.
Well, at this point, Krieg says nothing, but we'll see how things.
Yes. Well, the dwarf will usher you into this grand room where, sitting near a stone fireplace, sit 5 old men. You catch a clip of their conversations, talking about the days of yore when the hunt filled them with vigor and it lit a fire under their blood. And as you enter the room, one of them yells, Amrath, what are you doing bringing a human and 2 tieflings to the room? You know we... And then they look at Creek and go, Welcome. Welcome to Noanar.
Is he human?
Oh yes, I'm trying to find like a character model that'll work for these guys. We're using these.
Just use the ring wraiths.
There we
My
go.
God, they were all nerds.
No, I swear, didn't you fall in love on the battlefield?
But they're all sitting kind of like a V formation at the door.
Are
My
each of
God,
the
they're
chairs sort of
geese.
higher and higher, and then going lower and lower? And are
Didn't
there
these guys
13 of
go
them in a
south
white
for the
room?
winter?
No, sorry, this is not Organization 13.
Okay.
They're not Ansem.
Hey,
They'll say,
Daniel.
"Hey, hello.
They're only-
But are they all?
How do
Saurons?
you? How did you? What business brought you to our lovely little town?"
we
Strange
came to
Strange
deliver some
because you
barley.
think one of them is speaking, but if you look close enough, all of them are speaking,
Oh,
and they're all saying the same thing.
My God, they're all puppets.
Are they speaking with one voice, or are they speaking with 5 voices?
5 voices, old and decrepit, but very distinctly 5.
Can I make a religion check real quick?
Okay.
But I just want to know if cure wounds hurts undead.
It does not anymore.
Oh,
Nope.
okay. Then good old arrows is gonna be the main. Is probably what's gonna.
Wait,
happen.
whoa, what? We're not.
Don't
in
worry
combat
about it.
yet.
I have no clue. I have
You
no
are
fucking
you are
clue.
absolutely certain if you strike them light wounds.
I got like a third of that.
You are absolutely certain that if you cast Cure Light Wounds on one of them right now, dust.
Excellent.
I'll explain that
You
we
are
can deliver in
compelled
pardon.
to try this out to gain the advantage.
Okay, I'll do it to this guy. Cure light wounds.
You inexplicably roll it.
All right.
The dwarf will yell, "Get your hands off me!"
I'm sorry. You just look so decrepit. You look like you could use some healing.
I apologize for my strange companion. How
One of
how
the-
went
the
the
hunt
hunt?
lords- The Huntlords will look at each other and go, "Don't worry, well versed in the deception links. In fact,
Deception.
we're surprised that anybody of such stature would ever travel with these demonic kin." We're
Now,
not
why
even-
I must also apologize for my compatriots' actions. I must say that was rather rude.
They all
Up,
stare.
Maradi.
All 5 of them stare at you, Maradi. Roll a Wilson.
Wait, will saves aren't a thing.
But wisdom saves are.
Yeah, roll a wisdom save.
I'm inspired though.
No, you're not.
Oh!
You're shaking your boots as they all say in one voice, "Know your place, servant."
Of course. Yep, got it. I'll
Silence.
just shuffle back.
You tried to struggle to find words to speak, but none come out.
I
Must
slowly look back.
apologize for my retinue.
I
went to the
I'll
hunt.
Like,
take a
mo-
step forward.
I grab Krieg for a moment and I point to my throat and I try to make motions with my mouth.
I just
There's
look at
time
him.
for finger
Oh no,
puppets later.
you're not magically silenced.
Oh,
You're
okay.
actually just intimidated by these 5.
Yes, okay, yeah, then fine. I'll do it. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's time for shadow puppets and twiddly dinks later, Marathi. The big boys are talking.
Lords will say, "You offend us, sir, but perhaps all could be made right if you joined us in the hunt tonight."
Tonight,
Yeah,
eh?
you cut out again near the end.
What are we hunting?
Yes. What will be the target of the hunt? I'm always game. Oh fuck. That's out of
That part
character.
hurts physically.
Krieg pinches the bridge of his nose.
I think we are the game. Out of character.
They'll motion to Amrath and say, "Amrath, please lead our distinguished guests orders, and the rest of them can stay in the servant."
Okay, we've been awake for like 20
Hold
minutes.
on,
Are we
hold on.
going back
So,
to sleep?
Wait, guest or guests?
Guest, singular.
Oh. Which guest?
They're
Probably
talking
3.
about you.
Oh,
Oh.
dear.
Wait, so okay.
They said, "Wait in the quarters for tonight, and the hunt will be on."
I got $20 saying one of us is gonna die tonight.
One of us.
What's a buck?
I'm
you know,
going to
stags.
let me just give directions to my servants
Dear.
before we go, and I'm going to go up to them and say, there is a very good chance I'm going to be hunted. Meet me at night in the forest.
You're going to be hunted. I think
They
it's
literally
rather.
said they wanted to hunt Creek.
I think with the way they've been eyeing Creek and with the way they've been treating myself and Shal, it's rather obvious who the actual target of the hunt is, my lord.
If
They'll
you
say,
have the
"Amrath,
good-
please secure the guests."
I'm starting to think that the bacon that we had
Ah.
this morning wasn't in fact pig.
When you say
The dwarf
secure
will-
the guests, is he going to go hostile?
The dwarf will shuffle up and have 3 vials. And say, "Please, for your comfort, my lords."
No,
Puts 1 in each of Shal, Creek, and Marati's.
Now that
Huh.
is
I eye the
very...
drink and I eye him and I just sort of go.
Can I?
"Oh,
I
thanks."
sleight of hand?
I uncork the bottle, attempt to drink, and attempt to sleight of hand accidentally spill it.
Roll deception.
Accidentally on purpose spill it.
Can I
Oh.
sleight of hand get one of the potions that we had in?
Oh no, it made me
refrigerated.
big.
Creek, roll deception.
Oh, deception? Okay.
Oh dear. Oh.
18.
Okay, let me go and pull up this one. No, it is the other one. This one. Perception is a wisdom check, yeah? Yeah.
Yep.
Castellan seems satisfied with your performance. He says, both of you, please, drink.
Can I make a medicine on this, or
Only if you drink it.
okay? Can I make a sleight of hands to drink one of the potions instead?
That'll be rather difficult because you're going to substitute one potion for another and try to pass it off as the first, but you may.
Ah, shit.
You successfully palm the first potion, but as you pull out the second one, the Castellan will say, "Are you still thirsty, sir? I have more if you'd like," and he hands you 2 more vials. Drink up.
You know what's to add this area? I'm just gonna pop open a bottle of wine, add in the things, and just drink. Just staring him down,
Just all of them? Okay.
and then I'll make a medicine check.
All right.
I swear, if he turns into a pig,
The liquid is very herbal. You're not quite sure what it's made out of, but as you're drinking it, you can feel yourself getting drowsy.
Big
All
shocker
right.
there.
Can I roll a perception to
Anyone who
notice that
touches
he's
my
getting drowsy?
crossbow gets kicked in the willy.
I'm
Those are his
gonna.
last words before he falls asleep.
We don't have any Williams here.
All right.
I'm gonna try to do a deception to pretend to be drinking it.
Okay.
Da-da-da-da.
I must say
18.
it's highly irregular for you to drug my men.
We know that you just woke up. This will help them sleep until the night. They'll need their energy.
All right.
You've managed to fool the drink. However, the Castellan is standing there. He's holding like a little watch thing going, that's strange. You both drank enough to be asleep by now.
Well,
I'm
my
gonna, roll,
parents.
I'm gonna roll deception to pretend to just immediately fall asleep.
Okay.
I'm tired.
You've collapsed to the ground and immediately very loudly.
He just starts
No, I-
screaming,
I-
sleep.
I-
The Castellan is staring at you in disbelief, but the Hunt Lords just look around and say, we honestly don't know enough about his physiology to know.
I'm gonna start slurring my words. I don't quite know what you, and then fall flat. And I guess that would be a deception.
Yep.
Basically, we're doing the exact
20.
same thing, but
You are much more convincing. You've noticed how Shal was passed out, so you do a very good mimicry of it.
He just does the
So
opposite of what
so he
Creek
just-
does.
The Castellan will then summon, will pull out a scroll, and invisible hands will grab the three of them and drag them away.
I say, you can treat them nicer than that. Although,
Oh, forgive me, my lord. Would you like to mage hand them?
Wait, mage hand?
You're asleep. Or at least pretending to be asleep. You say, wait, mage hand, and the Hunt Lords will look at each other and go, wow, there must be some sort of psychic link to that one. Very powerful creature indeed.
of course, my lords. So, anyone up for cards? We can
They
play
will
a game
instead-
of bridge.
They will instead wave their arms, and the Castellan will pull out another scroll, and a comfy leather chair will appear.
The comfy
ignore.
chair.
I assume he's, before I just sit in it and offend them, I'm assuming he's offering it to me.
Yes.
I will take a
They're
seat.
saying, come, sit by the fire.
Excellent.
Regale us with tales of your exploits, young one.
I will do so. Are they inspired with temporary hit points now?
Would you consider them your allies?
I don't know. I don't think so yet. We'll see if
Then
they
not
have
quite.
a rousing
Although they
hunt.
wouldn't be aware that you have that ability.
Yes. But I will regale them with my heroic tales of saving night and also causing love to bloom on the battlefield.
They'll say, well, we're not one for poetics, but we will share you.
Well then,
Our
how
own
about
tale.
the time we fought goblins, bandits, orcs, and a Zentarim attack all in the same day?
Wow. Is that a bodyguard? We're assuming? Escort? Consort? We don't judge.
Definitely not the
A
last
bugbear.
one. Oh, so you do know what he is.
You. Yes. But yes, we've seen many creatures in our time hunting these woods. Nothing quite so exotic as the that one.
I see.
We've spent the last 200 years or so hunting tieflings and orcs and elves. There was once a drow. That was a fun time, and they'll nod in appreciation.
Oh, was his name Drizzt? I really hope it was.
No, it's some inferior name. You know how common folk. But please tell me, or tell us, if
Freudian slip
your
there,
companion had to defend themselves, how would they do though? How would they do that?
Defend. I don't think that's in his vocabulary. He just kind of screams.
I see. Amaranth, make sure that when you wake the big one, you leave whatever weapons he's had in his pack. And you, how do you hunt?
With my marvelous wizardry powers, of course. I'm a crack shot.
Student of the arcane arts. We can appreciate such acumen and wit,
Also,
though we prefer blades.
Can I do like a perception or a history to see what race they are?
On the face, they all look like they're humans, but very old humans. Definitely past their prime.
It's definitely possible they're like half-elves or something, but the fact that they said 200 years is kind of making alarm bells go off in my head. But I'm not going to point it out to them because I am a charismatic boy.
And they'll say, it's been so long since we've had a new approach.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
if
a
you
new...
manage...
Oh, finish.
Yeah, they'll say, if you manage to prove yourself to us, then we will share you the secret of eternal youth and power.
I don't want to be assimilated. I'm not actually saying that, but is this the time we call it? Or...
Yeah, I think we'll call it there.
Cool.
Interesting. All right, well, we'll continue this. Do we want to do a Saturday session, or are we going to just Monday, Wednesday for now?
I've got room for that.
I'm fine with the Saturday session.
Okay, when do we want to do it?
No, but I'll figure out.
We can always just work it out and see if people are on. So
On Saturday, we'll just ping people and say, hey,
yes, so we may run
Hey,
Saturday.
What's happening? What you doing?
But have a good night, everyone.
So long, folks.